When navigating the real estate landscape, whether you're buying or selling, it's important to understand best practices, especially when it comes to commission.
That's why Martin Fajardo, broker and property manager with Innova Realty and Management, is joining us now. Good morning.
Hey guys, nice to see you again.
See you too.
Yeah, it's great to have you in. So we are talking about commissions this morning. So is it true that sellers don't have to pay commission to buyer's agents?
The short answer is that is true. They don't have to. But before we jump into talking about commissions, a little reminder to the audience, a little disclaimer, I guess, if you would, is that real estate commissions are not set by law, nor by any board of realtors. They're always to be negotiated between the clients and the real estate agent or broker. So with that out of the way, I guess I like to remind everybody how commissions used to be, or the traditional way commissions used to be structured, where the seller pay their own agent, and also they used to set aside a commission to the buyer's agent. So as a buyer, you never had to worry about paying your own agent, right? The seller took care of it. But everybody knows that there was a commission lawsuit against the National Association of Realtors that reached settlement just 6 months ago in August of 2024. So they changed the rules. They basically decouple the commissions. Seller pay their own agent and buyer pay their own agent. With that though, they came out with 3 different new forms. The listing contract only now stipulates that the seller pays their own agent, and there is not even an option to set aside a commission to the buyer's agent. For the buyers, now they have a new buyer's broker agreement, where the buyers are fully responsible now to engage their own agent, find their own agent, and pay their own agent. So on top of their down payment, their closing costs, now they're responsible to pay their commission to their agent. And the new revisions to the 3rd form is the purchase agreement. So for us, when we found out that the local purchase agreement was changed, where typically in a purchase agreement, you negotiate things like purchase price, closing dates, and everything else, they put a new clause in it where the buyer now is asking the seller to help with a contribution, a concession, so the buyer can use that to pay their own agent. So to go back to your questions, do they have to? No, they don't have to, but they're going to be asked to pay. So they can always say no, but the buyer might walk away. So really, it's out there for negotiations.
Yeah. Well, obviously lots of changes happening.
Yeah.
With those in mind, do you have any tips or best practices for buyers to bear in mind?
So with this new landscape in real estate commissions for buyers, just to be aware, right, of what we just said, you are responsible in writing through the new buyer's broker agreement for that real estate commissions. So what happens if you guys put an offer and it doesn't go through, the seller doesn't want to pay commission, they don't have to. Are you really, really ready to walk away from that deal, the home that you love? Are there any cancellations options for you with your own buyer's agent? So all those things have to be negotiated or even talked or discussed with your agent before you jump in your car and start looking at properties.
Right.
Yeah, and there's a lot to consider on the buyer side, but also on the seller's side. So what are maybe some best practices for them?
There's a little bit of misinformation that buyers don't have to. That is true in theory, but as you can hear that the buyers are going to be asking for those sellers to participate. So maybe strategize with your agent. Be mindful of what the market is bearing. Right now, we're in a market where I can see sellers actually being willing to help a little bit the buyers so that they can actually sell their homes. But that might change in the future. So my advice would be just to strategize with your agents and come up with a plan that makes sense for you.
Yeah, you don't just deal with property buying and selling, you also manage property
Yes.
too. So do you have any tips or best practices for landlords out there?
So the commission settlement lawsuit didn't really change management, thank God. There is nothing major on that. But I guess my best practices for my landlords always have a very detailed and rigorous tenant screening to avoid surprises, constant property inspections and evaluations, and a very strong lease agreement with fair provisions to both parties so you avoid any misunderstandings down the line.
Yeah, and really quick before we go, we do want to say congrats again for winning Best of Las Vegas Silver. That's an amazing accomplishment.
Thank you very much. We really, shout outs to everybody at the office, to all the staff. They are the make it happen. I'm just a little piece of the whole movement. But thank you for the audience. Thank you to you guys as well. That you guys made it happen. And this year we're going for gold for sure.
Yeah, you can't avoid the modesty right there because you came with so much information this morning. Clearly, you come with the expertise from above. So, Martin, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Guys, for more information and insight on your buying, selling, or property management needs, just head to innova-pm.com.